All right, Miss Jen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I've come to rely on Hangouts for hanging out, so I've been missing them. I get to do one a week. How have you been to this week?
Oh, busy, 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 but you know, when you do a job you love being busy.
No, the truth. So the weird thing this week is that we've got um, Kyle traveling. He's doing an important thing,
Oh yeah,
so you get to run the shows you don't normally run.
exactly. I kind of do love it when Kyle goes out of town though, because I do like running more shows. You know, helps me learn.
Well, I mean, this is just my experience from lots of years is that like sometimes I'll have employees that want and need more hours or like want more expensive experience, but they don't ever tell me. I bet you be told him, you'd be like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, he knows us, man. Anytime you're leaving, just let me know. I just can't do the weekends right now, but any
Yep.
other day, just let me know and I'm there.
Mm-hmm. So how's Triangle of Truth going?
Ah, it's pretty good. We haven't really done too much since we came back because we're just trying to catch up on things. But
I hear you.
we gotta sit down one day and just record a bunch of stuff so I can get it edited and throw it up for a couple weeks. So we got some things. But yeah, we hit 150 subscribers the other day, so
That's really good.
oh, more than I ever thought we were actually going to get.
You thought it was just gonna be your family?
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's the whole point of our channel was always, if it's 5 subscribers, awesome. The main thing is, we talk a lot about Kickstarter books and things like that because there's a lot of these creators that, they don't get as big a push as some others would.
Mhm.
So, if I can show one more person somebody's book that they're like, oh man, that looks awesome. I feel like I've done what I've set out to do.
I feel like you guys are actually moving the needle, right?
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah. I know that there's been a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have known about unless I was looking at y'all's page. So.
Yeah, we figured, the big 2, sometimes 3, arguably 4, they get enough, channels and things talking about them. So we try to get some of the obscure, the Kickstarter, and just independent people that like I said, most people wouldn't know about unless you told them about it.
Exactly. Independent party people in the house. Oh man.
So what do you got?
Movie you can't unwatch. Actually, I like him. This part I like most about the whole movie.
See, I think for the MCU stuff, there's some of those folks I'm going to be sad when they recast them, and Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler is definitely going to be one of them.
Oh yeah.
So have you been able to watch the 2-part Ryan Reynolds Hugh Jackman announcement? Oh,
no, I want to watch it, but I haven't done it yet.
it's so good. I said the other night when Dan Wickline was talking about it, I said, Logan was about the best send off you could have ever gotten. And I was one of those people when Hugh Jackman got announced, I was like, he's too tall and he's too pretty to be Wolverine. That stands true today. He's still too pretty to be playing Wolverine, but
Yeah.
after all these years, I'm just like, man, I know they're gonna have to recast him, but I'll be happy with whoever they do. But it's just Hugh Jackman. It became his character. He's played him almost like Sir Patrick Stewart and Jean-Luc Picard and Professor X.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see anybody else stepping in. But I give people a chance, and the reason I do it's the late great Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Because I was one of those guys. I was a Heath Ledger fan. Don't get me wrong, but when they announced him for Joker, I was like, I don't know, you know.
Mm.
And he blew me away, and I was like, you know what? From now on, whenever they announce casting, I'm just gonna see how they do. Yeah, just like Ben Affleck.
Yep.
And I thought Ben Affleck was one of the best parts of that movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the thing I want to see is I'm really, really hoping that they don't move away from Pattinson because I really liked his, especially the mood and tone that they gave the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was exactly what I wanted. Finally, a detective movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember them saying something along the lines of, you know, they're breaking into the multiverse thing too. So this actually takes place on like Earth 2 or 3 or something like that. That's how they're going to distinguish them. I don't know. I think we should get a set universe first before we start working on multiverse things. That's just me though.
Unfortunately for DC, they've got so much stuff that's just not really hitting.
Yeah.
Probably the best way to move around it is be like, well, what's over there?
And see, one of the saddest things I've always thought about DC when it comes to the movies is this is a company that basically they own all their characters, don't they? They own all of them.
I think so. I don't think it's somebody else. I don't think it's.
Yeah, so it's not like how Marvel, you know, had to make deals and wait for characters' licenses to run out. They had these characters, and it's like, y'all, Superman is always going to be my boy. He's been my first love forever.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many other characters that you could have gone for, that you could have tried something with. I mean, look what Marvel did with Guardians. The only people from Guardians I ever knew, for some reason, was Rocket Raccoon and Groot. But now, you know, I know all of them because of that movie. And it's like, you know, y'all need do a Green Lantern in space movie.
Heck yeah.
I just wish that somebody out there would just come up with one plan, and even if it fails, just stick with the plan. You know, don't be so reactionary with it.
Yeah. Let us get used to it at least.
Exactly.
By the time we decide we like a thing or not, you've already moved on from it.
Yeah, you know, and that's like, you know, the Zack Snyder Justice League. I'm not gonna lie, I liked the Justice League, the first one. You know, the Joss Whedon, I guess the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
But I love the Zack Snyder one. But it's another one of those things to me that if that's all we got from Zack Snyder from going forward, I'm good with that. I got to see the movie that the director wanted to make. I'm good with it. If we don't follow the Zack Snyder verse, okay. But somebody somewhere, just please sit down, think about it.
I will be the first to admit, and it's not because I didn't like it, but I was so tired when I watched it that I fell asleep. And you add more time to something, and I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm
already exhausted when I get home all the time.
Completely understand.
But from what I did watch, it was really working hard at fixing all that stuff that everyone complained about, like that didn't make sense or was real disjuncted, or like, okay, well, now this movie makes sense to me.
You see, I think especially now, I know a lot of people are like, you know, DC shouldn't copy Marvel, and you're right. There's two different companies, but Marvel uses Disney Plus to their advantage so hard when it comes to doing, you know, all these other little shows that connect to the universe. I'm like, HBO Max needs to start doing that. I mean, that's a Warner Brothers thing. Start putting some shows on there. Start building some hype for things. You know, instead of just sitting and being like, nobody liked this, so we're not going to do anything for 3 years or something.
Yeah.
You know, put a show on there that shouldn't, you know, if something you don't think should be a movie, Because there's a lot of movies out there nowadays that I think they would have worked better as TV shows anyway.
Yeah. We took some of those things as like, okay, well, we can't. This character is not any good for like a whole movie franchise. But you can make a little, you know, like She-Hulk's a better character than just having this little tiny thing going on. But you could take any character and do what they're doing with her character. It's a very wonderful show, and it can't cost them, other than the CG, it can't cost them that much money to make it.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You could have done things because I know we're kind of going over. We're going over the Ted Cord Blue Beetle, and we're going with the Jaime.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime one. I was like, you could have done some kind of Blue Beetle Booster Gold show beforehand, and then explain that.
If we never ever get the Alan Tudyk / Nathan Fillion show with them as Blue Beetle, and I just don't know what they're doing. And they're made for those parts.
So, just fun little thing that's happened.
Yeah.
I was commenting over on YouTube, and somehow the settings were still messed up. So when I just changed the settings, now all my comments have come through from like the whole show.
Oh.
Yeah.
We were just sitting here talking along.
So, right, like, I had been commenting, glad we got this working, we were talking about Green Lantern, I'm like, Wrexham Football Club is hoping for more Green Lantern, they have to make payroll. Like, all of these things that are very clever of me. And we're coming through and going, why aren't they working?
Ship! I see ships here.
Ship is there now. It's a party now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go back and leave you guys alone and go back to, like, watching on YouTube and hanging out with my family. But, like, I want to tell you that I fixed it.
Thank you.
Kyle is the fixer of things, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, and Jay, you can also put it up kind of more like a Zoom if you want to, and just ship a link and you can pop on. We really intend, like, there's not enough people that are members that we can't just, like, have a giant powwow fun. We trust all these people to not be ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Ship's awesome. Hold on just a minute, Ship.
I feel like we should announce like an official hangout, but that we all play Monopoly or something. Who doesn't want to play Monopoly?
Well, unfortunately for me, I find there's a reason they called them board games. Because you got to be bored to play.
Oh, you just haven't played with us. We go cray. I am one of those evil people that doesn't trade. It is to my disadvantage some when everyone else is trading with each other, and then you get kind of in the corner.
Let's see.
15. Ship is the happy owner of a run of cool comic books.
Ooh. All right, send him the link. See if he's able to pop on.
I was looking at him last night, and I was like, you know what? Ship is awesome. I'll just throw him a discount.
All right. Lyle, how we doing? I don't.
Hey, Lyle's on. Hello.
So we may officially not be members only anymore. I'm working on it.
Oh,
That's all right. I don't care if other people want to pop on. But only members can come on the Zoom part.
So can everyone hear me?
Yes.
yep.
That's a bonus. Huh. Try to figure out whether this is working or not.
Yep, I can hear you.
Yep.
You sound like you're driving a car.
That's my pickup truck. Yeah, I've got a truck that definitely people would want in Texas. It's even got bullhorns on the front.
Oh.
Oh. What what brand of truck person are you?
I've got a 2005 Dodge Ram 1500, but I build cars for fun. So my brush bar is actually welded to the frame, and it's got 2 exhaust tips, and it looks like a steer.
I love it. I also am a Dodge Ram girl.
I love it. I've got over 400,000 miles on this thing, and it's still running.
Yeah, my first one that I bought, that one's maybe 2006 or 7. My son now owns, and he's getting ready. He needs to have like a regular car that doesn't cost very much money because he's about to go off to college at A&M. And my husband's like, okay, we'll sell that truck. Well, the problem is that like I like name my trucks, and then we have like personalities to me, and I'm really happy that and that truck's name is Maddie.
Okay.
I'm really happy that Maddie's with Max, and I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can handle selling Maddie.
No, I think every truck has their own area. Like mine's called Grace.
Yep.
I think any true lover of a truck, you're going to name your vehicle, or really anyone who's into cars. Anyone who's like into vehicles, you do name them.
Yeah, my first car's name was Charity because my grandpa gave them to me. And then let's see what after that. I don't remember what I think I had. I think my second one, Charity too, because also was a gift. I had one of those big Pontiac Grand Prix. You remember those really wide body ones from the like 90s?
Oh yeah.
That one, I in honor of Kevin Smith, and this is, sorry if anyone is offended by language, his name was Badass because it's a really wide body car. Fly, fly. And then, I don't know, I had a really swanky minivan when my boys were little. I had spinners on it. So much fun to pull up in a white in your tan minivan with spinners. We had boys who were teenagers hanging outdoors, recording it. My current truck's name is Virgil because I'm on a tombstone kick for names of vehicles. So what is your truck's name?
Virgil?
Yeah, Virgil.
Oh, it's Grace.
Oh, that's right. You said Grace. Grace is a good name. This is the first boy vehicle I've had in a while. The rest of them have been girls.
I can't do the male names for vehicles. It's kind of like, to me, it's like a ship. It's like it's always going to be female. You don't name a ship, you always call her her. Same with vehicles, it's always her.
So, well, except for my truck's got a big mustache. You know how the grill looks up because it's the 2016 or 17, and it looks like it has a mustache. So that's why it's Virgil.
Yeah.
And then I know that there's a lot of people that on their Dodge Ram they put those like balls, like bull balls, on the back. So I'm assuming they're saying that their truck is a boy too.
Yeah, I'm actually not a fan of the balls side. The balls to me, like, really,
Yes, really.
Like our aspiration when she was
Oh, I'm not even showing anybody my stuff. Chip, you're like your truck is eating you. You sound like a robot right now. This is a run of X-Men Adventures Series 2, 1 through 3 for 10. I am really just pricing comic books. This is our official hangout. If you remember on the experience, you can have these kind of membership benefits. And sometimes when you have glitches, you can hop on too. It doesn't matter to me.
And I'm about to post the link to that in case anybody is interested. These are the kind of shows you're going to get.
Yeah, it's really inexpensive, and I promise we'll make it worth your while. What was that, Chip?
You get to actually hang out in person. I said you get full access. You get to hang out in person.
That's right. Like if Chip wanted to, you turn on his camera, you can actually appear on the show.
I would probably get arrested in the state of Massachusetts, though.
Yeah, I don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
Chip, I need to write a new Nuclear Warfare. And we need to get everybody back on board for playing. You're a
we should
master.
get the group that. Yeah, that first group that we did the game show with, that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember? Oh, who was in it? Kyle was one of them.
Yes. Was Brainy part of that?
I don't remember it. Chris was part of it. Chris D.
Oh.
It was the first time that we did it. It was a really great group. Like, it was just really funny, if you remember. Just like the entire show went very, very quickly. In fact, we went over time, if you remember rightly.
Yeah. It's hard when you're. I think that we figured out afterwards. That's an alpha for 10. I think when we figured out that we could do an after show, it helped keep the main show tight to its hour. Because then we could be like, oh, I just hold on to your extra witty comments. Do your witty comments, but hold on to your ridiculous witty comments to the end.
You know, that's the hardest thing about that hour time limit is you're having so much fun with things, and you're like, we gotta cut it short now.
It's almost like you're getting warmed up to it, because by the end of the hour, then it really, like, any nerves is gone, and you're coming out with some really witty things. Like that.
Oh, yeah. For anybody that has not watched Nuclear Warfare, that airs on The Experience and also locally on Woodlands Online, it's a game show created by me, but also inspired a little bit by Starship Smackdown at San Diego Comic-Con. It doesn't run anything like it, but just that idea of, would this win or that win was the kind of like the basis of what the game was built on. But the way I've built it is to make it so that it's you could play essentially the exact same game twice, but not have the same matchups at all and still have it be ridiculously fun. We've never really replayed a game, but because I keep on coming up with cool ideas. But the way it works is that you have 4 people play the game. Everyone has an opportunity to match up with each other once. So you don't have any problems with the advantage of like, oh, I just drew well and my opponent was a horrible debater. But the way it works is it's always things that are matched together. Let's just say we'll make it the most simple one, like cars and drivers. We've done that theme before. But the thing is that for all 14 matchups, the car and the driver could never match, no matter what. So I have to have really 28 very distinct things that are in play. So you'll end up with things like Batman's Tumbler is your vehicle, but it's being driven by Baby Driver. And also the scenario under which you're driving the car changes. So I could say you're racing along the moon from pole to pole. And then you have to use all that information in your argument. And there's no rules in this game. Like, you literally can argue that, the Batmobile is black, so it would absorb sunlight, so that would make it faster. As long as you can make a good argument about it and your opponent does not call you on it. And sometimes I've seen people actually not know anything about what they were given and completely make stuff up. And their opponent didn't know any better, and they won rounds based on baloneying. So the part of the game that is fun about it is really about your ability to be a good debater, but not necessarily debate out of a place of like knowledge. It's not even about lying. It's really just about being able to make up fun stuff.
It's the creation of the story.
Yes. Yes, I like that. That's a good description of it.
And I just remembered who was on it. It was Pat, Rob, and Chris.
Oh, yeah.
It was all the Michigan guys, and I was thrown in the last minute. But it was definitely it was a fun group, that one.
Yeah, we've had people that have participated. I can't remember which one has done it, but we've had people that, like, in between rounds, they like put on a different outfit and like show up with props.
Nice.
because we do it Zoom, so you have your whole house basically you can take stuff from.
You see, I'd be impressed if you did that, Miss Jen. I mean, you could like complete your cosplay while you're doing it.
I would like to do, like, we could probably get one together to shoot for Halloween and then just like have everybody come dressed up.
I mean, if we could do a large group, I just don't know how much like Zoom can actually take, like how many people, but I think it would be nice if we could see people's faces.
Yeah, I mean, we could always do just a Zoom hangout. I mean, I'm sure that it can happen. People have like giant gatherings during the pandemic, so X-Men, like 1 and 2, which is the whole series. Fun.
Still got Cyclops in it, so you know I'm not buying it.
Poor Cyclops. Actually, I had to keep my face straight because someone that was in the store yesterday was just talking. They're someone I really love too, and they were talking about how Cyclops was their very favorite. And it's just so hard not to be like, really, tell me what you like about them.
I was gonna say at that point that would have killed me. Oh, but talking about X-Men though, how excited are people about the new Deadpool movie with Hugh Jackman coming back?
I am the most interested in it if they continue on with the ridiculous amount of fourth wall break.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, those two are hysterical.
Oh my word. I am very excited, and I'm really sad we have to wait for 2 years, right?
I think it is, yeah. But I mean, what I'm starting to figure out with Ryan Reynolds, it's worth the wait. I mean, he really does a great job in pretty much any movie he's in.
It's very true. Which is funny because he really is kind of playing Ryan Reynolds in every single movie.
Yeah. He doesn't change himself at all, but yet hysterical.
But I can tell you this: if you've never seen the movie The Voices, that's one of his just underrated movie that he's been in. It's called The Voices.
It's like a serious one. It sounds serious, but that kind of.
It's pretty serious. Like there's some comedy in it, but he's basically crazy.
Ooh, I like cray.
His animals talk to him. His animals talk to him, and he voices the animals.
High five, Lyle. We
But
love our
it's a
Canadian
great
viewers.
You see, Jay, the thing which I find funny is I can't get him out of my head from Blade Trinity. Because, I mean, that was arguably his worst.
That's true, but he did have some killer lines in that movie.
That's my point. The killer bit of the vampire piece. I mean, we're talking about Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. That was him. I mean, granted, there was also Triple H in it, which, yeah, that's all you're gonna say.
But by the way, that I'm guessing that Parallax Spectre is our good friend Leah, who often forgets pants.
Yeah.
She's the only one who calls you Dragon Lady.
That's right. It's easy to tell who we're talking about.
Oh, Miss Leia.
Yeah. You should just come on and do like the Lego Man thing. What does the Lego Man say? Where are my pants?
It should be at that point. I really should do this one day when I'm not coming out of work. It's always like Fridays, like I finish up, but today I didn't finish till 5. I mean, it's a long day.
Yeah, well, it's my fault because it's kind of like I get done with my other chores, and then I'm like, okay, well, I can do a hangout until it's time to go on date night. So that's why it fits into this time. And it doesn't really interfere in the regular schedule day for Jay.
See, what would be fun though is we would get like the Vals on and things like the people like that. That would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone works, so.
Yeah. Oh, darn it. That work.
Well, if we didn't work, we won't be able to pay for our invoices, and we know that's going to happen.
That is the truth. And I'm just going to tell you guys now. Beanie says, I has pants on. Excellent, Beanie. Get up, bananas! Banana time! Um, yeah, it's. I can tell you that when they just now announced that there's a recession on, I can tell you that it's been on for at least 3 months. Like I can see it. Like it's like serious. So when I make those pleas on Tuesday, when I'm like, well, please just find a local comic shop or some small business out there and just go drop $5 in their door. And it's tight everywhere. I know it's tight for you guys, so.
It's tough. I mean, I'm kind of lucky. I work in healthcare, so there's always the need. There's always going to be funding there for one way or another. But it's the downside with that is that you've got the extreme high rate of burnout because we don't have staff. Like we can't staff. I can't staff my facilities. I'm working at maybe 20% staffing right now.
Really?
Yeah. So even but I'm classified as a program director, so I'm technically upper management. I'm doing direct care work day in, day out on top of actually running the programs. So you kind of have to be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Even in everything. So that's kind of where the recession's hitting healthcare now, is you're noticing that administrators are having to do more hands-on care, and we're having to wear multiple hats, more so than we ever used to.
I never even thought about that. That's a good thing to think about.
Well, most of us who do go into healthcare, you start out as a traditional bedside, either nursing or you're doing something more direct. In my case, it was DD and MH in community-based services. But you move up into administration. The difference now is you're going back to do that direct billable care because you're still licensed to do it, and that's what we do.
So you travel to houses?
Currently, actually, what I do is I do adult day health services. So what that means is it's a program where anyone with cognitive disabilities or like say Alzheimer's, dementia, or a disease that requires assistance through the day, they can come into our program. And it avoids the long-term care facilities. So I have 2 locations that I currently work. I'm opening up another 2 because just the demand is so high. But each site holds about 50 to 59 people.
So basically you're a saint.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
No, I'm gullible. I got sucked into it, and I've really not got out of it for 24 years.
There's an X-Men Archives. If this was a full set of 1 through 7, it would be like a $90 set. But because it's missing its number 1, this one focuses in on Captain Britain, and it has an archives. It's just 50.
You know, the one thing that I kill myself about is I actually used to own a Captain Britain number 1 when it first came out.
Who makes that? Is it just straight up Marvel goodness?
It was. When I remember it many years ago because I got it from my corner store back in England. It was a big deal because they were trying to get into the English market and trying to get people away from 2000 AD because that was the big comic in England was Judge Dredd. And Marvel brought out this and it was a huge fanfare. It was like Captain Britain, look, it's one of you guys. And it never really took off in England per se, but it seemed to take off here, which was funny.
Yeah, they recently dropped a 2000 AD best of trade paperback. I think it was this week, and I was like, because they all the publishers message and say, just let you know this is existing, but this one was delayed really a lot from the pandemic, and so I was happy to have it, but it's one of those things. It's like when all of your other content only appears in like magazine form, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that also is way behind. Then it's tough to get a regular readership for 2000 AD stuff. But I very much enjoy it. Like I said the other day, there was a fellow that lived locally that he was originally from England, and he would bring bring me trade paperbacks, and it's true that the writing and style of stuff from that market is way different, but I really love it.
Yeah, well, Miss Jen, from what I know of you, I mean, you're definitely you're a widened reader. You like different styles of writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, English style of writing is definitely different. I mean, this is why I'm an Alan Moore fan. Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman, I mean, all those authors are definitely, I mean, Ron V. I mean, the reason why I jump around about Ron V is because his style is a European, heavily English influenced style. I mean, that's why this new Batman run with the Gothic side, I mean, it's out of this world. I mean, Ron V's style adapts so well into a Gothic style Batman. I mean, I'm sure they're probably selling, what, a good 20% on top of what they usually sell.
Leah's asked a question, do I know why they canceled its Clobber in Time and the mini-series with Thing and the Hulk? You know what? I don't know that one or two things will happen. Either it got canceled because of the paper shortage and they just wanted to, like, not have it take up the paper that was being used for other ongoing series right now. It either will be completely passed over just because of schedule and all that stuff, or it'll just show up later, like they'll fit it back in somewhere. But I know that like on our end, when we look at ordering for Marvel right now, where they used to have like many multiples of variants and then a whole bunch of ratio variants, that's all pulled way back. Like there's a bunch of titles right now it's just A and there's no B, and I'm thinking it's because of that they're just like, well, we can put out 1 million covers or we could focus. Yes, I agree with you that they should not put out that many covers for every single book. I like it better the way it is right now, because I think they feel like if there's a bunch of variants that we'll buy all the variants, but most everyone, especially now with the recession, is still just ordering A, unless someone's requesting, like, you know, order all Art Germ or whatever. So I don't know. Hey, Captain Britain comic 1, 1976. Lyle's got 1 through 14. That's awesome.
You know, it's so funny. I was just talking to Ben Goldsmith about that exact same topic. Like,
you were talking to Ben Goldsmith. You just name dropped. We have to drink.
I did. And I'm name dropping because he's going to be at New York Comic Con with you.
Yep.
Hey, I like to put it out there every now and then. But we were just talking about the deals with variant covers and how, you know, there was this huge boom of doing it variant covers. Is it really something that can sustain? And we both were kind of like, we don't know if it can. With the recession going on, as you were talking about, most people want the book. It's not really the time, or maybe the time of the year to really be putting out as many covers as what people are doing. I mean, some of them were going crazy with what, like 10 different covers at one point?
There are some books that are coming out. I can't remember. There was someone talking about it today, and I didn't get to look at the link very much, but that have, like, you know, 100 between the store variants and whatever else. I'm like, there's nothing in the world that needs 100 variants. It just isn't.
100 covers.
We don't need it. I've started to feel guilty about doing store variants. I'm really told all of the publishers I really want to focus in on just very specific ones.
I see. I kind of like store variants though, because I feel, I mean, you get a little bit of the money from the variant, correct?
So here, you guys want to know some inside stuff?
Ooh.
This is another reason why you should definitely become a paying member of our little fun here. Okay, so the way variants work, and there are some things that vary across the different publishers. I'll use like Marvel, for example. So Marvel and DC have a huge buy-in. So for both of those, you contact them to say, I would love to have a variant cover for the Death of Superman that's coming out. Then what they would do is they would say, okay, either we have some accepted artists that we use, it will allow you to choose from, but you don't get to talk to them. And this is true for both Marvel and DC. Or we have some pre-done covers that you can choose from. And so you'll choose from your thing, and then there's a huge minimum for what you have to buy. So it's more copies than any store could possibly sell, unless it's just like, made of gold. So there's a lot of stores out there, no matter what they say, that still have copies of their variants. But it's the only way to get them out of them. It's the only reason they'll allow you to do it. And then for a lot of the indies, they're kind of more fun. Those are kind of real variable. Right now, it's expensive to do an indie one. For a little while, you can get them fairly inexpensive in a low print run, but because of paper shortage, it doesn't happen anymore. For those, usually I can say, hey, I am interested in having a variant of your number one up to something. Can you approach for me Kayla Valero? You probably can't get anymore. She used to be my girl. now everyone's using her. But so they would go and ask her how much she would charge for the variant cover. I have to pay her directly the entire amount for the variant for her artwork. I don't get to have the original. They keep the original. And then the company then says, okay, we are going to charge you X dollars per copy of the book for the variant. Usually, the reason why you see a variant expensive is that we're not getting them for like $1, whatever it is for a normal book that you're buying. It's much, much higher because your print run is lower. And you have a print plate change if you want to change and have a virgin variant or a black and white variant. Every time the plate changes, it's like $150 or something. There's a lot of money if you're wanting to do a variant. And they're not cheap. So when you see the prices that you see new from somebody, then that's why they're really hoping to sell, 10%, 20% of their run and recoup their costs. And then if they make profit, then that's great. But oftentimes there is no profit in making a variant. It's really a little bit of a source of pride instead of actually profit margin. So now you know the truth.
Jeez, that's crazy. I think for right now, I think they should stick to maybe just 2 or 3 covers. I mean, even still, I think 3 is pushing it right now. Because honestly, if I had to choose between getting a cover or getting the actual book, I'd rather have the book.
See, I'd agree with you, Jay. I mean, I'm looking for the book. I mean, don't get me wrong, some covers are beautiful, but I'm more interested in the story.
Yeah, I know that there are some companies, like I think Boom is like this, that they are limiting the amount of variants that they allow at the store level. So some companies, like everybody on the planet wants to do a variant, then they'll do it. I think Image specifically and Boom are doing it, so that it's like, okay, we'll allow 2 stores or 3 stores to have variants on this book, and that's it. Which I think is a much more, I like that much better, honestly. Because then there's not, because if you have every store having a variant, then the whole market gets flooded with images of really cool variant covers. There's only so much money that people have in a paycheck.
Yeah, for real.
Including me.
It gets oversaturated, and then it kind of loses the importance of the book. If the book turns out to be like an amazing book, you're like, oh, well, which variant of it do you have? Well, I have A through D, but I forgot F, and F's the one which is worth the most money now.
Yeah.
Well, and also it puts extra stress on you guys that are completists. And completists are great. But if you know that there are 100 covers, then sometimes people just cannot sleep until they have all of them. It's always heartbreaking when people bring in collections that they're like, okay, I want to sell this collection to you. I'm like, that is awesome. And I go through and I look at the stuff and I buy collections based on what I think I can sell fairly right away. and get back to being even, right? And then everything else, if I work really hard, I will make some kind of profit out of it. And people are all the time being like, this is, you know, and there's nothing against these guys. I love all these guys I want to mention. Like, they're like, I got all these Comic Prom variants and, you know, Comics Elite. And so all the people that are making really cool covers, they're like, all of these I paid X dollars for. And I'm like, well, but I can't pay you that. You know? So they're buying them at X dollars thinking that they might be worth more money someday. And it's just not necessarily so. So buy those covers just because you love them. Don't buy those kinds of covers thinking that they're going to make you money later. They often don't. Sad.
Isn't that something Nick usually says? Don't buy for the investment, buy for the liking.
Mm-hmm. And then if it becomes worth money later, then just pat yourself on the back and feel good about it. And that's awesome. But
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that have gotten into their brain this kind of like speculation feel about comic books, and I want people to buy comic books because they like to read them or like the art. I'm not really into the whole, like, I will tell you if I think something's gonna be worth an investment later on, but I much more prefer you buy it because you like the creative staff or the storyline.
So, see, and I'm really into what Scout has done because that's the kind of reader that I am.
Yep.
Usually by the first or second issue, I know I like something, so I just wait for the trade. So I've never been one to be like, hey, I want to collect every single cover out there of something, you know. But I know there are people that do.
This is kind of cool.
I mean, there's certain books that I think you want to. I mean, like, if you get really into something, you know, there's definitely certain books I think, like for me, actually the bindle I just purchased from you, Miss Jen, that's one of the books that I collect. You know, it's definitely something that I've collected all the variant covers, and that, ironically enough, I know I'm going to have a few duplicates, but it's a great run, and it's very difficult to put together. So,
difficult.
You know, you're going to buy it. You know, well, it is strength, but that's those ones that mostly, like,
Oh, I think we're losing you, Ship.
You cut out just a little bit. I hate so much the search engine for eBay right now. Their algorithm is just toe up.
I haven't looked at eBay in forever.
I
I
love
use
eBay.
it all the time for looking up things, but the problem is that they, for some reason, they got it into their stupid heads that they wanted to have a look and feel that was more like Amazon. And so the way it used to be is that if you just put in specific keywords, it would only pull things up with those keywords. Now it pulls up those things and then like everything that's possibly related to it. Their idea, I guess, is that you would like be tempted by something that was close to what you were looking for. I'm like, man, when I'm trying to look up stuff for value, it's soul sucking. You can see it on my face as I'm doing it right now. My soul has been sucked. All right.
Well, they might be Parallax. They might be worthless. They might be worth something. You never know, honestly. I didn't think
the Action Comics 1000 fits in that weird space of like, I love the way they did the eras for it.
Mhm.
So the cover styles look different and match the era. And I don't know. I don't know about 65 copies of them. But I haven't seen any of them either, so yeah, they might be gorgeous. I didn't have that many. I don't know what all those look like.
I think we got two, and I think we got it from y'all.
You know, there's a wood. Yeah, we had a big blowout on Action Comics 1000s. There was a Saturday show that I found some, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually surprised that we had any left back there.
Actually, what are you doing this Saturday? Are you doing the run job?
I think I'm going to do the ladders. because you guys love them and it's been a while.
I get to
and
play
then
the yellow ladder.
Yeah, we're gonna do the yellow ladder. Everyone's gonna try to claim the yellow ladder. So if you guys, everybody has every action 1000 put out. Oh, that's incredible. Wow, that would be. I need a picture of that. You can actually go on to our eBay page. We use spacecadetscollection.com. There's a tab at the top that says shop online. You click that and hit the big eBay logo. That's all our stuff. And if you just put in the keyword lot or run, you'll find all of our run stuff. You can make yourself a list right now. All of those will be 25% off. So, but only if you call them during the show. That's the fun. And the fun part about it is that I have to walk up and down all the ladders back there because it's a huge long row aisle of them. So many runs right now. And
So
I
you
have
get
all
your steps in for the day. You get your steps in for the day.
I'm getting my steps in, doing my, I don't know, have you seen those things at the workout places? They have like the ones where you like you're walking upstairs.
Stair climber.
Stair climber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's up there pretty high. They're, the top row, when you guys see me up there, is probably 8 feet, 10 feet, something like that.
Yeah, that's where I'll tap out and say, yeah, I'm not going near that. Not on a
Mhm.
metal shelving unit.
You're not going to do that, yes, shelving unit at all.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll get on that one.
And then, God willing, if I don't get the cooties between now and the 1st, which is tomorrow, I guess, when I get my last out day for canceling flights and stuff, I will be in New York Comic Con the following Saturday and do live from there all of the exclusives that I've picked up. So I'm going to try to get all my exclusive buying done before the Saturday show, unless you guys... Ideally, I will have been able to make a deal to get them, so I should be able to offer them to you at the price that they were at the show. But if not, then I'll try to get them as low as I can based on if I had to buy them for show prices. I'll try to get them as low as I can for you guys. So it's just like you get to go to New York Comic Con, but you don't have to spend I'm not lying, I've got a room for 2 days and it's $1,000 and it's just a normal room. That's literally a 10 by 10 room.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. That's New York.
Good.
So funny, it seems really reasonable until they add the room tax and the travel tax and the what. It's like $130 for the tax they added.
Well, you have to be a taxi because you're not from New York. You're not a natural born New Yorker. So you're going to be taxed for that.
To my detriment. Yeah, my husband's the only one that likes New York. I don't like that many people altogether. It's too many. But yeah, he usually would go with me. He went with me last year, but we just got back from Paris, and he's kind of like an executive guy, and he can't just be like, who's going to run the company? Someone. He's got to stay there.
You can do it remote. Everything's remote now.
No, just need to stay further from the Javits. Do you mean in Scaryville? Time before last, this was pre-COVID, so 2018. I stayed over in Weehawken, which is just across. It's just right on the Lincoln Tunnel, and it was beautiful over there. And I enjoyed my Airbnb. It was $150 a night, which was pretty cheap. And my roommate was really nice. She got sick while I was there, and I feel bad. She's like, it's her house, so I was like, sorry, stay in your room. But the price it cost me to take a taxi or an Uber or whatever across to the Javits every day, I might as well just stay in walking distance to the Javits. And then also because I wasn't staying close and I needed to take a ride back, and I didn't want to be arriving at my house at like midnight in a city I don't know. I was missing out on, getting invited to dinner or, hanging out with publishers and stuff. So take the boat. I know. Since I'm not from there, I don't know the boat. I don't know how to do the train. I don't know how to do the bus. And I was there, that time I was there by myself, and I didn't feel comfortable doing those things by myself. So I'm risk adverse.
No, you're smart, especially in a large city you don't know.
Yeah. That's the only reason I went to Paris is because my husband was with me, and he's already been to Paris.
Paris is actually pretty, it's just logically laid out. I don't know if you've found that. I mean, it's not that difficult to get yourself navigating around.
No, I really, you could send a minion to guide me. Haha, awesome. Actually, what I should have done is message the Pineros, because Milton Pinero has been a longtime viewer on CBSN. His family basically started buying from us at the very beginning and used to be like the guys that you had to beat. You know, like right now how Nagares and Galindo on my show fight over everything to call it. Those guys are the ones that are fighting over the stuff then. But they're all retired New York cops. And I've been invited to stay at their house if I want to, but I didn't think about it this time. It would have been nice to do that instead, but then it means that they would have to, like, you know, make sure I got there. Stop breathing Dragon Lady Jen's air. My words. Is anyone else going to the show? Is anyone else planning to go to New York Comic Con?
Nope.
I know it's just next week.
I was actually looking at it because it's only like 5 hours away by train. But again, my thing is, it's wicked expensive to do it, and I would be only able to do 1 day. And then you're like, okay, do you really want to drop X amount of money for not even a full day by the time you have to get the train back?
Oh, yeah. That would be hard. Oh, you live there? What do I know?
I live in Boston. I'm just
X-Men Fairy Tales, 1 to 4, 10 bucks. I think. I'm just proud of myself for being able to, like, multitask here.
You're doing great.
She puts us all to shame.
X-Men Forever. I'm
Far
almost
too
at the end of
organized.
I'm almost at the end of this huge collection that I bought. It was so fun to go buy it because the fellow I bought it from, this is probably the most I've spent on a collection, but it was just really large. But this is the one everyone sees on their bill is the bill collection.
Oh, yeah.
But he was like most military guys, he was a very protective fellow. So like, I know that because he invited me to his house, that it was going to be like a highly secured house. And there was like a camera, like one of those like the security cameras, like outside his garage, at the front door, in the house, in the garage where he was letting me look through the stuff before I bought it. He had set one up so that it was watching us. It was like I felt very safe.
Ooh.
Ooh. But yeah, I felt so bad because I wrote him a check for the transaction while I was there. You know, he knows where I am. He's in the store. It's not like I'm just going somewhere. But I wrote it so that the Sharpie accidentally went over the numbers, and so they wouldn't cash it. And so he was like calling the store, and it was just when I think it was gone. I think it was traveling somewhere, and he was getting a little anxious about it. I would never ever want to make a man that had been trained by the military upset in a real way. So when he came in, he was like, "I'm sorry, I was sounding yucky on the phone." I was like, "It's okay, man. It was a huge check that I wrote you. You could not get money for it. Here you go. X-Men Forever 1 through 6, just $10. Just show me the mailing label. New York, New York. Oh, that's right. I'm the person that just forwards those images because the warehouse staff is the one that like ships things. So they're the ones that see it over and over again to kind of like have it reinforced where people are from. And I'm really just forwarding it a cut and paste image. And my eyes, I'm going to tell you the truth, are not that awesome. That's why I got glasses on. And so I don't know. I might not even really focus in on that part when I'm sending it. So that is why I don't know where everybody is from. My eyes were 100% perfect until I got to, I would say at 48, my eyes just went from being 20/20 to being like without my glasses on, like everything that they're closed is super fuzzy. Like I can kind of read the letters that are here on the comments. Same thing with the glasses. So that's what you guys all have to look forward to if you're not currently 48 or older.
Oh, as soon as you hit 40, it's all downhill, that's for sure.
Yep, your body just says, good enough.
Pretty much, you've had your fun. There you go. Start wearing glasses. Start figuring out why your knees hurt every time you get up in the morning in your back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll. My favorite thing to explain to somebody is like when I'm having a bad back day. Like, what'd you do to hurt your back? I'm like, I slept.
Yep.
Oh, I can beat you on that one. It's like, how do you throw your back out? I breathed.
You breathe.
I literally have thrown my back out like multiple times just from breathing.
Mm-hmm.
I know people will say that that they'll throw their back out from like sneezing or coughing. Gosh, there's a cool kid. He's got a Sans coat on. He looks awesome. My son wore a Sans coat. He still wears the Sans coat without the fuzz on it. Like, and he's 22. He's a little obsessed with
awesome.
that. After 40, your eyes can't focus the way they used to. That's why you've got glasses to see things in the distance. All of a sudden, you can't see through them to read a comic. You got it. That is the truth.
How are those alpacas selling from your local store down there?
They're doing good. We actually have just outside this room. So imagine kind of like how big is this room? This is maybe 15 by 15 room that I've built out just as a broadcast room. And this side of the room is all windows. So people can look at me like a fishbowl and knock on the window if they want to and stare at me, which they sometimes do. And this is outside of that is the toy store part. And on this door, if you ever see me go out this one, that's just the opposite side of the toy store. So I forgot what I was answering. What was the question again?
I actually asked about the alpacas, but now I'm all excited about the fact you have a red light that says on it.
So just on the other side of that the window over there, we've built like a large metal grid pen. They're all piled in there. So for the price
you've basically
point,
made an alpaca cage.
I have made an alpaca cage, but they're all piled over it. Like they would fall off probably. So, but yeah, that company has been having them made for themselves for. I think I've seen them at shows the last maybe 10 years. Really nice family, love them. And I guess because of the pandemic and them not being able to go to a lot of shows, they have a bunch of extra inventory. So they usually consign with me, and I sell them all the time for like $30. But they were like, nope, you have permission to sell them for half these. And I was like, okay. So I think people, like, it's a psychological thing that happens where people are like, what's wrong with it? Only $15.
Do you still have that weird hamster one?
The weird, what was that second word?
It looked like a hamster with like a hoodie.
Oh, the one that was just a giant ball.
Yeah, it looked like a giant ball of a hamster.
Yes, and he had like a panda bear hoodie. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That may end up getting thrown in my pile.
You gonna put it in your pile?
Probably going to end up putting it in my pile. I mean, one of the joys of being a member as well is I can actually say that and order it on that way.
Yep. Absolutely. I will do that after the show. I'll go find you. Do you want one that's still in its package, like the plastic?
I don't mind, honestly. It's going to be going to my daughter. She just said the other day she likes the plushies, and I just remembered that one from the show the other day, and I was like, oh, yeah.
So was it your daughter that we ended up getting the Sonic books for?
No, my daughter's 16. She's older than Sonic. I think he may have briefly met Anya at some point. I think she might have been on one of our calls at some point, but it wasn't Sonic.
There was someone that bought Sonic books the other day from me for their kiddos, and I just wanted to go over and make sure I didn't miss anything because I found more in the back room. I was making sure they got the whole run that was available that we had.
I vaguely remember either Luck or one of those guys was buying Sonics at one point.
That might be it. And Leah, yes, your memory does start going. The focus is not with me all the time. But
when
I
you
also
think
am
about the
kind of
group
like-
which we had, we all kind of like some things.
Why can't I find this run? This is fairly annoying.
So while you're looking, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link to join the membership services. So if you haven't joined yet, like Ship, you can join so you can watch awesome stuff like this. And for less than the price of a comic, you can keep the lights on. You can keep me doing a job that I genuinely love doing,
That's true.
and just see a bunch of cool stuff. So there's that link in the chat just in case.
Yeah, so the membership gets you lots of cool stuff, including like you'll get shout outs during the regular shows. You have like special like emoji stuff that you get to use that no one else will have. This is we call this the hangout, but there's a lot of other hangouts that happen with other, like Nancy will do one, I think Henri does some. And those are member only usually, whenever we have all the technology working properly. So, and in my case, I do this where we hang out. Sometimes we play games like we played, Sink the Ship.
That was a good game.
That was a really good game. I got you guys good. But you still survived.
I didn't sink.
Yep. This is like a show where literally any of this stuff, it hasn't been in any show yet. You guys are seeing stuff that hasn't been in a show that you guys could claim before it goes to a show. So in this case, it's all X-Men because I'm doing an X-Men box, which is pretty boring if you don't like X-Men. But there's lots of other fun. You'll have access to, we have a Discord channel that's being made for us by someone, I think that's famous. The way Kyle described it to me. Someone that's a known person is making our Discord for us.
He's famous in Discord world.
I don't know. How do you become famous in Discord world?
Honestly, there's a lot that goes into building that. It's I did one, I remember, for a different group, and it's not easy. You got to build it up and make sure that permissions are set, and there's all sorts of AI bots that go into it to make sure it's monitored, and pretty intense.
So is that there so that you don't have bots go on there and talk nonsense?
Basically, there's different levels of security wise. You have administrators, which obviously would be either Kyle or someone similar, who can monitor functionality and language. But the actual building of the platform, that's where it comes into play, because it's not like a other chat room which is already pre-populated. You have to physically build it. A different functionality.
I thought it was way more simple. So I'm glad I now know those things. All right, this is an impossible to find Chris Claremont X-Men Forever run of 1 through 24 and annual for $75. You don't have to wear pants, Leah, to be a member. But I
We just can't have you on camera.
Yeah.
You have to be on camera. But I recommend pants. They're comfortable.
Sweatpants are always good. Just saying.
Sweatpants forever.
Another thing that you start to like more after you age to 40 is the realization that sweatpants are amazing and can be worn at any time, day or night.
Yep, and that you don't care if other people think you shouldn't be wearing sweatpants.
Exactly. It's like
So
you
are-
lose all inhibition in that stuff.
So are Crocs. I didn't like Crocs when I was younger, but now I wear them all the time.
No, with the Crocs. No.
But they're fake Crocs. They're not even real ones.
Oh, no. So the slots are...
I call them Fox.
Oh, okay. Well, be careful of that one, because you say
Yeah, I
too
got-
quick, it can definitely sound something
Yeah.
else.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna giggle now. I am really
Yes.
like a 13-year-old boy. Oh man.
And this is why we have the fun.
Exactly.
Yes. What's everyone doing this weekend? Anything awesome? It's about time for Ren Fair to start. Is anyone doing Ren Fair?
I don't think so. Not this weekend. This weekend, I think, for me anyway, is probably going to be tinkering around in the car. Take some time on that.
I got to go back to the other place for the weekend.
Oof.
The other job.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a horrible job though.
It's not. It's just the flipping the schedule because Saturday I work at 9 p.m. and Sunday I work at 8 p.m.
Oh,
Ugh. That's such.
until when? When do you get off?
I work 9 to 5 Saturday and 8 to 4 Sunday. That way, since I work the shows Monday, I come home and eat, relax, wind down from the craziness that was that weekend, and then sleep for a little bit till I got to get up and start working.
I love the turn.
So basically, you never stop.
No,
I feel like someone needs to drop. There's a beat being dropped. I feel like someone should be start spitting some
Oh.
rhyme over that.
but I've told Miss Jen before that even though I work only 2 days at my other job, this week always flies by for me because I enjoy what I do so much.
Aw.
I really do. Like when I tell people, you can keep me in a job I genuinely love. That's not written down. That's straight from the heart. I love doing this.
Well, you and I and Kyle all do this for that same reason. It is a labor of love for sure.
And we just have one of the best communities I've ever seen. I mean, people will help pay for other people's books.
Yeah,
I mean,
happened.
it's so great.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to jump off, but I'm definitely going to say the same. A great community, but I will talk to you all very soon.
All right, have
Take
a
care, Ship.
great weekend, Ship.
Talk to you all in the week.
1, 2, 4.
So which show is this going to be for?
What's this?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that I'm putting up now.
Yes.
Probably for your Beautiful Brides show on Monday.
Oh, okay. For Mishmash, all right.
Mishmash. Because I'm not going to need it for Saturday's show. Just trying to make it I'm sure she'll come and make some more stuff.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
I want to make it so that it's not something she has to do all day long.
Right. Told her I'm excited. I said, hey, we get to technically work together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll do great. She did a great job while I was gone, and everyone loves her. So
Oh, yeah.
I really expect to see a whole bunch of musical episodes pop up.
Yeah. Yeah, her and I talked about that.
We haven't done one in a long time.
No. But I mean, she hasn't been on in a while either. I don't think.
No,
Because haven't you been having Alfie?
Yeah, Alfie's been working behind the scenes. I think just the schedule worked out somehow. But you tell me, Jay, when you have to hop off for tonight. Because I'm just
okay.
hanging.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to end it at 5 o'clock in 10 minutes.
Okay, that works good. This is a cool cover. Holy cow.
Ooh, that is a cool cover.
That looks like Brooks, and it is Brooks. These are a whole bunch of one-shots, X-Men Origin one-shots. There's a Deadpool. There's a Cyclops. Emma Frost. She who is allergic to clothing.
Yeah.
Gambit.
Oh,
Green Wibbegate. Oh, I like this Iceman. That's real subtle.
Oh wow.
Nightcrawler.
You know, just
Yeah.
seeing all those. It's we were talking about movies and stuff earlier. I wish they could have kept up with that. I wish that Wolverine's origins would have been something that people latched onto. Because for me, outside of the Baraka pull at the end, I liked it. That'd have been because the next one they were going to do was going to be X-Men Origins Magneto, and then they scrapped the idea.
Yeah. Makes me sad.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to look this one up. Because if you look up X-Men Origins, it gives you Wolverine Origins. This is the reason why I hate the new algorithm. It's like none of this is what I'm looking for. It's like I should count every time I look up something how far I have to go down in the feed to find one copy of the thing I'm looking for at all. Still Wolverine. I don't even have the word Wolverine typed in. 2. All right, I wonder what I'm going to do for, let's guess what I'm going to do for date tonight. My husband always plans it, so anybody that knows me knows what we usually do for our dates. You guys can just guess if you don't. I will give you a hint. One part always involves food.
Tacos in a movie.
Usually, you're right. It's usually food in a movie. There hasn't been really anything new out for a while, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Before we went to Paris, he was asking me, it should involve no pants. We're married, so yes, it often does. But he was going to take me to do, I don't know if you guys have done Top Golf before. I'm a horrible golfer, but I can win at Top Golf every time. I can hit those little flags. So I don't, just amongst my family. So it's not a personal challenge. I guess we could all play Top Golf. But that, or sometimes we go play pool, and we're both horrible at pool. I used to be a pool shark back in college. There was one pool table in like the, below the common area part of the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go in there and I'd take my quarters and I'd line them up along the edge. And people would be playing, and people would say, "Hey, can we play on this table?" And they'd be like, "Yes, you can have the table and all the quarters are on it if you can beat me." And I would stay there all night. They had the deal was they had to pay for the game we were playing for them to try to win the quarters.
Oh, that's smart.
Shark.
Smart.
Now I'm horrible. I don't know if it has anything to do with my eyesight going, but I am embarrassingly bad. But luckily, both me and my husband are similarly embarrassingly bad. So,
well, see, it's just the hanging out with each other. You'd be horrible together.
That's right.
We don't go bowling with Sean because Sean's an exceptional bowler. He used to bowl in the amateur leagues.
So he breaks 300 all the time then?
Oh, I don't know about all that, but he's a pretty good bowler though.
Yeah, my husband's pretty good at bowling. The thing that's interesting about bowling with him is that when he bowls, it looks like it's going really slowly down the deal.
Mm-hmm.
But when it hits the pins, it sounds like something is exploding.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone turns around when he's bowling. I'm just like, what? We're not breaking things. We're promise. I really can't find this. This is annoying. And maybe I'll just look for the Deadpool one. It's like I'm looking to, it brings up a toy first. And I have the word comic in it.
I gotta agree with Parallax there. Let's see who's the worst. It's a good game to play.
Let's see who's the worst. Well, that you cheated that game though. You can take it straight to the you can roll it straight to the gutter. That's no fair. Unless you can play that game Who's the Worst, but you have to play with the bumpers on, so there's no way you can cheat to be bad.
Yeah.
I think I give up. I'm gonna call them all. Actually, I think these are all individually expensive. All right, here we go. I found one. So the Deadpool one is a $15 book. Great.
Ooh.
Type in Fantastic Four 200 and you get Batman. Yeah, I'm telling you, it sucks. They need to hire me to like revamp their whatever. I'll make it work correctly. All right, we've got five minutes. You guys can ask me about stuff that's on the board. You can ask me. The last 5 minutes will be AMA. Ask me anything. As long as it's not an industry secret that I am not allowed to tell you, I will tell you things. Cyclops is going to be expensive too. Holy cow. Cyclops is 10.
Wow.
I mean, the Deadpool could be a $40 book, and eBay's given me, dinged up ones, but I just go by the lowest price one because it's more fun. Gives you guys a deal. I'm not trying to get like the highest dollar for these books. I'm just trying to make something that makes at least kind of sense. Emma Frost isn't getting the love. She's a $5.
Oh.
Emma. That's why she can't have clothes.
She can't afford them.
Can't afford them.
Well, I will say this about that Cyclops one. At least that cover is a nice looking cover.
Yeah, it's got a good graphic feel. Someone will appeal to my better nature and tell me that the reasons why Cyclops is a redeemable character, but no one's convinced me yet. So. Plus, it's fun to make fun of him. Holy poop! Dude. Well, this is a $35 book.
Oh wow.
A Gambit. So I'm gonna do 25 on it. That's surprising.
Well, I was thinking certainly it's got to be a little higher than Cyclops. He's a more popular character.
Yeah. It's hard for me to figure out which ones are going to be the expensive ones because you think to yourself, oh, well, this character is not desirable, but maybe the print run was tiny or the artist is desirable. Like, Iceman's just $5. What's up, man? Iceman's cool. Pulled out the good puns for y'all. 2 minutes and then we're out.
Yep. And if you stick around to end it, because we don't really have an ending video for things like this, I'm going to play that amazing member announcement spot that Kyle made where he does an amazing impression.
Of Telly Savalas.
Exactly. Mr. Kojak himself.
$10 for Nightcrawler.
And I'll drop the link to the membership services again. Now, Kyle says we got a funnier, even better one coming.
So he's going to make a funnier one? What is he going to do now?
He's being very secretive about it.
Mm-hmm.
He just says it's hilarious. So
you guys realize that we make all this stuff in-house, right? That's what your membership services buy you is our creative commercials. Especially, yes. I love those black ones where it's just like the words that get typed on there and the symbol. Bloop. Those are hilarious. If you have ideas for those, you should send them to us. We'll make them.
Yeah. JD and Kyle are just, they say they sit around, they have like 3 or 4 years worth of those little spots.
Well, I'm down for them because I love them.
Yes.
See, now here's the deal. Wolverine's the most popular of the characters, probably. It's a $5 book. What are you going to do?
That's crazy to me.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. You guys got to sneak peek what membership level gets you on the experience. We'd love for you to join us. It's not very expensive to join. It's about equal if you're going to do someone's Patreon. If you like us enough to support us in that way, we would love it. And then you get to hang out with us doing this. Sometimes we play games and sometimes we just chat.
Yeah.
And if you're a member, then we pull you on screen. You can join us just like Ship was, where he gets to use his voices on and everything.
That's right. But you got to wear pants.
Clearly, in this case, it's okay without them. All right, everybody. Thanks to Jay for being on. Thanks for Ship for being a good sport and
Absolutely.
being interactive. We'll see you guys next time we do this cray stuff. Bye now.
Bye.
Hey, it's producer Kyle. If you like going places where the action never stops, like Las Vegas, the Caribbean, and Atlantic City, then you're probably not who I want to talk to. But if you want to surround yourself with amazing comic books and comic book content made by a devoted group of smart and funny industry insiders, the Experience Members Club was made for you. You can join the experience by becoming a supporting member of our YouTube channel. You get access to exclusive content that no one else gets, like members-only live streams, pre-sales, one-on-one Q&As with production staff, and other content that's exclusively for members. Plus, for a limited time, if you sign up now, you'll be entered into our giveaway of a slabbed comic book. Just call this 1-8... Wait, hold on. It's 2022. No one makes phone calls anymore. Scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen, or just visit the membership section of our YouTube page, and you'll be on the VIP line of the comic book buffet, baby. Look at the size of those perks. Join today, and I'll be saying, who loves you, baby? Me. The answer was me.